Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be talking about some of the top undrafted free agents that the Washington Commanders signed yesterday and today. Gonna break them down, so if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. All those things take 3 seconds and it really helps out the channel a ton. So I'm gonna be talking about two main undrafted free agents today, and I might make a whole video on all of them because there's a lot and they're still coming in right now. They're still signing undrafted free agents. There's a lot of them, and these are the ones that were reported as of last night. 4 receivers, offensive tackle Mason Brooks, Joshua Pryor, Xavier Henderson, 2 safeties, another DB out of Illinois, and then a couple mini camp invites that include Chase Bryce, quarterback at Appalachian State, and I think he has 2 invites, which is, he'll be going to 2 different camps, which is interesting. But in today's video, I want to talk about wide receiver Mitchell Tinsley and wide receiver Kasmir Allen out of UCLA, because I think that both of those guys have a shot to make the roster. And again, some of these other guys I'll have to research more. We'll see what happens there, but let's get into it. So first guy, Mitchell Tinsley out of Penn State. Tom Pelissero reported that the Commanders signed him to a deal that includes a $15,000 signing bonus and a $120,000 base salary guarantee. So at least he gets some money, and he's going to get a chance to compete for a roster spot on a receiving core that is very good, but it's pretty top heavy. You have Terry, Curtis, and Jahan, who are all locks. Dyami Brown is also locked. That's 4 right there. And I mean, Dyami's a lock, but who knows with Dyami how good he's going to be. Last year he had some moments, but for the most part was very quiet. Didn't really get many targets and didn't get much playing time. And after that, those are the 4 that I think will make the team. After that, you have some question marks. Dax Milne, he made the team last year. I'm assuming he's going to make the team again. But if some of these undrafted free agents, ball out, they could make it over him. Marcus Kemp is a guy they brought in from Kansas City, a guy that Eric Bieniemy likes, that there's a chance he makes the roster as well. And they'll probably keep 6 to 7 receivers this year, and could include an undrafted free agent, because they're probably going to end up with 5, 6 undrafted free agent wide receivers, which is a lot, but will be fun to see for sure. So Mitchell Tinsley out of Penn State, only played for Penn State this past year. Josh Taylor, shout out to him, says going to camp I have 2 wide receiver spots open for Washington. Mitchell Tinsley will earn one of these spots, and yeah, it's between him, all the other undrafted free agents, and then I would say Dax Milne and Marcus Kemp. Those are kind of the guys that are competing for a spot. Mitchell Tinsley played for Penn State. Before that, played for Western Kentucky. He's about 6 foot, 200 pounds. Not super athletic. That's why he did not get drafted, or that's part of the reason. 4.6 40-yard dash, 35-inch vertical, not great right there. Bench press reps is solid with 14. He's a bigger guy, bigger possession kind of type receiver. Was projected to be a priority free agent, and some background in him. He played 1 year of high school and then went to got an offer from Western Kentucky, then played there for, I believe, 2 years. Let me get that right. 2 years, then transferred to Penn State. So, honestly, I don't know too much background on him, but looks like he probably could have stayed another year at Penn State, and maybe he would have gotten drafted in the, 4th, 5th round, but, it is what it is. We got him. An overview possession receiver, lacking top-end speed and separation quickness, but possessing quality ball skills. Tinsley's lack of suddenness shows up quickly in press release and when trying to separate early in the route, but he's very willing in the middle of the field and has terrific ball skills. He has the focus to make challenging catches at any spot on the field. He has good size and is a gamer, but a lack of athletic features might require him to play the role of zone beater from the slot. So they're saying maybe slot, but probably ideally you want him on the outside. But again, this isn't a guy that's gonna play a lot in his rookie year if he makes the roster. He's fighting for a roster spot, and that's kind of where we're at right there. And you guys can see some of the strengths and weaknesses right there from him, and we kind of went over the overview. And stats wise, he at Western Kentucky, his freshman year had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then in 2021 had 87 catches for 1,400 yards, 16 yards a catch with Bailey Zappi. And this past year, Penn State played solid. Don't get me wrong, 50 catches, 600 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But I forgot the name of their quarterback, but they have a really good quarterback coming out. I think he could have probably had a big year with him and potentially got, drafted higher. But again, he's the one making the decisions. He has returned punts a little bit. I don't see the yards there, but he has returned punts and kicks, but not many. 4 at Penn State and no kickoffs. So, yeah, he can return a little bit for you. So he's a guy who will compete for a roster spot. We'll see how he does. Definitely keep your eye out for him in training camp because we have those top 4 guys that we know are going to make it. But then after that, I have no idea. It's really, a competition between all those back end of the roster guys. Okay, let's get into next guy. Commanders signed for, and this guy intrigues me a little bit more. They signed UCLA receiver / punt returner Kazmir Allen, and I don't know why everyone's saying, like the reporters are saying wide receiver punt returner, because when I look at his bio, it says running back here, and then you look at his return stats. He didn't return a single punt in college, so I don't know. Maybe they're projecting at the next level, but Kasmir Allen out of UCLA, he intrigues me. 5'8", 176 pounds. So that's probably a reason he didn't get drafted as a receiver, I guess, because, pretty short. Weight is fine. Is projected to be a priority free agent. Overview, I'll read this right here. Smallish speedster who will need to prove to NFL evaluators that he's more than just a gadget option. Despite his explosiveness, he just scored 11 touchdowns on offense during his collegiate career as his primary duties were of the catch and run variety underneath. He's not a very effective route runner, but his acceleration and agility could help change that if he keeps working on technique. His speed and open field potential could create an opportunity for him. So here's what I think, honestly, and I'm just realizing this now. What I would do, and I think maybe this is what they're doing, bring in a ton of undrafted free agent receivers and see who's the best returner and have him on the roster. That's what I would do. And it looks like they're potentially doing it. And he is a guy that definitely could be a returner at the next level. Strengths, displays electric speed once he finds top gear, makes sudden lateral movements in tight quarters, can be a weapon in quick game with run after catch talent, and handle kickoff returns for 2 years, averaging 27 yards per return and scoring a touchdown, 100-yard touchdown return. And then you guys can see some of the weaknesses as well. This guy is not going to be a guy that makes an impact on offense. More likely than not. Maybe he will be, but hopefully not, because if he is, then that means we're having a lot of injuries, because the only times these guys make impacts are when your receiving core is terrible or they're injured. Remember, the guys in the last couple years that have made impacts, let's think. Steven Sims, well, let's think about our receiving core that year. Like, it was Terry in his rookie year, and then no one. Kelvin Harmon, Steven Sims, and a couple other guys that are, on practice squads basically all right now. And then after that, we had Isaiah Wright. He made a little bit of an impact in his rookie year, but again, that receiving core was not great besides Terry. So that's why, these guys aren't going to make big impacts on offense, but someone like Kazmir Allen could make the roster as a returner. He really, really could. And, again, look at his stats. He played 5 years, so he's a little bit of a vet. Rushing-wise, doing quick math here, around 600 yards maybe, 550 over his 5 years at UCLA with, 4 touchdowns. And then receiving-wise, has about, 700-something receiving yards with 7 touchdowns. So the production is not good at all. But what I like, though, is the returning. Over 1,000 yards and a touchdown in the last 2 years, averaged about 25 yards a return in 2022, and about 27 in 2021. That is what I like to hear right there. So that is something that, intrigues me and gives me okay, he can make the roster. He can make the roster as a returner. I don't know about his receiver or a gadget. Like, people are saying, this guy's versatile. He can play a little bit of running back and, get some carries out of the backfield. Well, they already have Curtis Samuel for that. So there's no need for Kazmir Allen to do that. But as a returner, that is something that they definitely could try him out as. And yeah, you have a bunch of returners that could potentially go out, or you have a bunch of potential guys that could be returners in your undrafted free agents. If none of them work out, hey, you can go back to old reliable in Dax Milne, who's not going to wow you, but at least he will catch the ball. So that is going to do it for today's video. Again, might do a whole breakdown of all the undrafted free agents, and then after that, might do an evaluation of the draft and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, guys, new, and peace.